Meet your department.
Meet your department.
Meet your department, guys.
Keep watching Meet your department.
Meet your department.
Meet your department. Meet your department.
Good morning, dear listeners, and thank you for joining us in this edition of our program, Meet Your Department. On today's program, we are technically supported by Euphonious Princely, and for production and presentation, I am Matthias Aqua. Still in the Faculty of Arts, we are in the Department of Performing and Visual Arts in the University of Bamenda. And with us today is our guest, the HOD of Performing and Visual Arts, Professor Paul Anembom. He was among one of those who kickstarted the Department of Performing and Visual Arts in 2015, and since then he has been the HOD. So we are talking to somebody who has a knowledge of what the Department of Performing and Visual Art is. Professor Paul Anembom, HOD of Performing and Visual Arts, welcome to this edition of our program, sir.
Thank you very much for having me.
So it has been, I think this is 8 years of this department in operation, and you have been the HOD of this department. We want to know the history of performing and visual art. How did it start?
Thank you for that question. I must say that the department started in 2015, as you rightly said, with the very, very first admissions into the first year. And it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy because as a young faculty and a young department, we had challenges even at the level of staff, and equally finding students who even first and foremost understand the notion of what they call performing and visual arts. We must admit that performing and visual arts as the terms or the words stand, they are very limiting. And for students in the Northwest region and in Cameroon Large who were not even versed with the appellation of performing and visual arts, considering that by then they were not even teaching any subject at the secondary or high school level that was related to this, it was quite challenging. And that notwithstanding, we succeeded in having some students. I think our first admission was about 35 in that year, and we had about 35 students, and we started the department with just 2 lecturers, and the rest of the lecturers were part-timers. And that's how our humble beginnings were. Although it was not easy, at least we pushed forth.
Okay, thank you, Paul. Is there PVA, that's Performing and Visual Arts, in other state university, or it is unique to the University of Bamenda?
It's not unique to the University of Bamenda, but we have PVA, or Performing and Visual Arts, in I think 6 of Cameroon State universities. Apart from the University of Boya and the University of Bamenda, they don't call the department PVA, or Performing and Visual Arts. So it's only Boya and Bamenda that call it Performing and Visual Arts.
Maybe because it's French, it's English?
Not because it's French and English, no. In Yaoundé one is a Department of Arts and Archaeology. Despite the fact that it's in a Francophone university, but they have an English appellation, is Arts and Archaeology. And in Douala, it's not a department, it's actually an institute.
Okay.
So Douala has an institute, they call it the Institute of Fine Arts. And in Chang, we have an institute also, the Institute of Fine Arts. And in Marwa, they also have an institute. So while other universities have institutes, the Anglo-Saxon universities still have departments. And we are looking forward to growing into an institute because there is a lot to this department that what the common man knows.
So it means there's a lot, there's limitation when it comes to operating this department in Bamenda and Boya.
That's correct.
Okay. So I learned in PVA there are 2 areas of concern. There is Baha and there is theater arts. Can you elaborate? I mean, break this down to us, these 2 sides in it.
Thank you. In fact, if you go for the notion of performing and visual arts, already we're seeing 2 connotations there. We are seeing the understanding of an art form that is performed, and we are understanding and we're having another connotation of an art form that is visual. Just that actually the 2 may actually move together because what is performed must be visual before it can be considered as performance. So That said, the department actually, from the very onset, had three programs. And these three programs are like three separate departments still in the same department. We have the first program, which is theater, television, and film studies. We must call it that full name so that people can understand. It's not just theater, it's theater, television, and film studies. That's the first program. The second program is music and dance.
Okay.
And the third program is visual arts and history of art. So these are the three initial programs that the department started with. Unfortunately, due to lack of specialists, due to lack of teachers in the area of music and dance in the entire university system in Cameroon, we've not been able to kickstart that particular program because we don't have lecturers. But we have theater, television, and film studies that is running from year one to the PhD level, and we have visual arts and history of art that is running from year one to the third year.
Um, Visual art and the history of art. What is it all about?
It's a discipline that studies everything that is visual. But we create a distinction now and go for what other people in other schools will call the plastic arts.
Okay.
It goes beyond plastic arts also to look at digital arts. For example, visual arts and history of arts basically looks at domains like painting. It looks at domains like drawing. It looks at ceramics. It looks at sculpting. It looks at graphic design, which is something that many of us we don't actually know that we do train students here. We train students also in graphic design, and that component is embedded in the visual arts component. So for now, that's a nomenclature of what the visual arts is made up of.
Wow. Okay. Now, with this bulk of work, because just visual art, that's a lot, and then you have to include a television, theater, and all of that. How do you manage the practical side of it? I mean, how practical is it?
Yes, it's quite challenging knowing that we have very little resources functioning as a department. We have very little resources, but we try our best. I must say that I commend the efforts of my staff, the lecturers that we have, because each of the lecturers that we have does what we call sacrifice. And the sacrifice is in terms of investing in the lives of the students, investing in the training of the students by dipping their hands in their pockets, using their personal resources to get the practical material that the students need to be able to realize their work. That's what the staff of this department go through. They actually use their resources, they buy cameras by themselves, they buy painting products, material by themselves, canvases by themselves. And in fact, one of my laptops actually got bad because a student was using it for graphic design and put a virus there and it got bad. So those are the kind of sacrifices that we actually have as far as staff is concerned. So that's how we manage our practicals, and we try our best. We even invest. If you can pass besides the cast building, you'll find the pavilion, which is a rehabilitated, formerly used cast kitchen, and it has been rehabilitated as it stands now, entirely financed by the staff of this department. So everything that is put there is money that the staff of the department has contributed and are able to renovate that building to look as it is now.
Wow, wow. Yeah, because I see performing and visual arts to be one of the most practical, those practical department in the University of Bamenda. You know, if you have to mention, include department like old schools like NAPI and the rest. Do we have some, say, let's say, film productions and some theater work that is outside there in the name of PVE?
A whole lot.
Okay,
A whole
because
lot.
I've not heard of.
If we want to talk about film productions, I cannot count the number of films that we've produced.
Do you have somewhere? I mean, where can someone access them, or how do you?
If somebody wants to access the films, you come to the department and you have copies of the films. Yes, that's for now. That's where we exhibit our films at the departmental level. And apart from that, we equally organize each year what we call the PVA Day. And the PVA Day is a platform where we organize at the University of Bamenda And we have film projections where audience can be able to watch the productions that the students have done. And we equally have exhibitions of other artworks that the students have been able to produce. And this takes place each year as we speak. And during the first semester, we actually had another PVA day, and we had a projection of about 6 films at the Assange Hall too, all produced by students of this department. And on the 19th of June, which is next week, Wednesday, we are going to have a theater performance at Assange Hall
I
too.
think I saw that flyer.
Good. Also produced by the students. So these are just some of the activities. And just to mention it, we've had theater productions from this department that have participated in the University Festival of Arts and Culture and have won prizes.
Okay.
We've had theater performances from this department that have participated in the national festival organized by the Ministry of Arts and Culture. Has won prizes. That was in Betua. And each year we have products from our students, and one of our students has won, I can't remember how many awards in international film festivals, and he's our trainee that we've trained here, and he's now at the PhD level.
How is the Cameroon film industry making use of your students? Do you have students that leave from here and integrate into the Cameroon film industry or other film industries now?
Definitely, yes. We have students that are part of the common film industry as we speak. One of the budding actors in the Cameroon film industry, I wouldn't hide to make adverts of him to beat my chest. Ngwa Bernard Muma is a product of PVA. From year 1 to year 3, he has a bachelor's degree in theater, television, and film studies. And he's one of the top actors that we now have in Cameroon that is budding, Ngwa Bernard Muma. He was trained here. Apart from him, we have other practitioners like filmmakers who are from this department and are part of the CFI. And we equally have a staff of this department who is the current Secretary General of the Cameroon film industry. That's in the person of Dr. Alassane Miencho. He's a staff of this department. So, in fact, we are fully engaged in the CFI, though not as a department.
Yeah.
Yes, we are engaged. Individuals are engaged, not the department engaging in CFI.
Oh, that's beautiful. I attended your last talent show exhibition that took place at the your building there, and I saw a lot of great work of art. I saw a lot of them, which you have already mentioned, sculpture, and in fact, I watched the live production of everything that was going on by the TV, the TV side of yeah, and that's it. So aside that, I want to understand. I want to know if these students these students are gifted and are talented. How is the department? I know you've already mentioned about these programs that they attend. Does the department have any promotion scheme that, okay, if we see that this child is doing well, we are going to push him forward? If we see that this one is very good at it, we maybe grants or some special offers, some stuff like this to encourage and promote students that are doing pretty well, whether in film production or in crafts and all of that. Is there something like that?
Okay, I would say that not the department per se to promote in terms of offering them grants, because the department does not even have enough resources to function by itself as of now. But the department doesn't hesitate to recommend our students for grants.
Okay, yeah.
Yes, I think currently we are having 2 students that are receiving subventions, and they are studying at the master's level, and they have subventions from foreign bodies.
Okay.
And this was through the recommendation of the department. Apart from that, we have our students all over the world. I don't want to start naming the countries, and they have gone under the recommendation of the department. So as of now, resource-wise, we don't have much to offer, but we offer our networking to our students, and they're able to exploit these networks and grow in their various careers that they think that they want to excel in them.
Wow, thank you so much. So, I believe that a lot of persons listening to you now, especially even parents listening to you, that they have students that wants to go to, practice film and all of that. Um, what would you say to a student who wants to be an actress or a film producer and is confused of where to go, whether to go to an academy, a film production academy like this schools? Because I remember, I for one, before I came to the university, I wrote to, I think it was a production, a film industry in Cameroon, in Bamenda here. Yes, I got them on Facebook and I wrote to them. I was interested in acting and all of that, so I wrote to them and asked them if how can I join? I want to join. I just thought it was going to be acting stuff, but it was going to be a lot of learning. And they asked me to pay a registration of 50,000 and come, and then they'll start the stuff like that. So, what would you say to a student that is confused between going that direction and coming to PVA?
Okay. I would say that doing professional training, or what we can equally call vocational training, is not a crime. It's a good initiative. And it's an initiative that is parallel to academic and professional training. Because in vocational training, what you receive there is purely practical know-how. In vocational training, they will not teach you the theories of acting. For example, you want to become an actor, they wouldn't teach you much about theory. They wouldn't bother about how do you manage to be able to act. They will just go into the acting and teach you this how to act, and you will not even bother yourself. Whereas in our milieu, in the performing and visual arts department, we teach you both the theory and the practical. Yes. So which means before you go on stage to act, for example, you understand the psychology of acting. You understand how you're able to express your emotions. And it is this training that we offer that is very different and unique. Once you offer to an actress the techniques of acting and the psychology of interpreting a character, the way in which that actor or actress is going to interpret a character will be very different from somebody who has just done vocational training, who has just been trained in acting, because you do character interpretation with a mastery of what you are doing. And that's why our students are excelling in the field, because they've received that training, not only practical, but equally theory. So they merge the theory and the practice and they perform better.
Oh, I think that's very clear. And to high school students, because I think that goes even to out of high school students and to high school students who are writing the GCE ordinary, I mean advanced level and looking for a department to come. What is that fear in PVA? I think there should be, because in every department there's always one thing that people are afraid to come because of it. I don't know what it is in PVA, but what is it that you want to kill and to tell them that this is the best place for them to be?
Great. I think that to the students who have written the advanced level, this department stands out to be the best choice, because we do not train job seekers, we train job creators. We do not train timid people, we train people who are bold. And with these qualities, a student cannot choose another department because we offer everything. In fact, we offer everything. Take, for example, what students may think about performing and visual arts is that when you get here, they'll train you on how to act, they'll train you on how to sing and dance. Hell no. There's a lot more to performing and visual arts than acting, singing, and dancing. If you come to performing and visual arts, you will learn how to operate a camera. Let's take, for example, that a student is shy, you're timid, you're afraid to go on stage and talk in front of an audience. No problem. We will train you on how to handle a camera. And the camera, you don't need to be in front of people, you don't need to talk. We will train you on how to be a director. Not acting, but standing and instructing people on how to act. These are all techniques that we are going to offer. If you are somebody who can like to draw, we will train you on drawing, and you go beyond drawing and looking at painting. And above all, to crown it all, nowadays we've gone beyond the level of entertainment. We do not produce art just for entertainment's sake. No, we've gone beyond that. And we are looking at art for therapy.
Arts for therapy.
Arts for therapy.
Okay.
This is a domain that is novel in Cameroon. And many people don't actually know what it is all about. It's about using art, be it theater, be it film, be it painting, be it drawing, be it carving, for healing purposes.
All right.
And that's where we're pushing and encouraging our students to look at how can you be able to use art in order to heal somebody. Healing in what domain? Most particularly in the domain of mental health. That's our focus for now. So we focus on using art in the health domain, particularly the mental health domain. So what we are actually offering to our students, our trainees now is what we call alternative therapies. Alternative therapies, that means we heal without using a prescription. We heal without giving you medication, but you are healed. If you look at the Northwest region and the Southwest region nowadays, you have many students that are going through mental health crisis.
Yeah.
And I think mental health is a domain that not even one single person is left out. All of us are affected. And we can use art to effectively tackle these mental health challenges. And that's my call for all the budding students who have written the advanced level and who are looking forward to engaging in university studies. Please think about performing and visual arts, because in performing and visual arts, you have a lot of horizons. There are openings all over. And when you have these openings, you will never lack a job.
Thank you so much, Prof. Paul Anibom, HOD of PVA. Thank you for joining us in this edition. We thank you for granting us this interview. Dear listeners, this was the Department of PVA. As you can all listen, there is no other department or field academy that you can choose other than PVA. So we hope to see you here. If you are a student, if you are a high school student, looking for a university and a department to be enrolled into. Thank you for listening and see you next week.
Meet your department.
Meet your department.
Meet your department.
Meet your department, guys.
Keep watching Meet Your Department.
Meet your department. Meet your department. Meet your department.